Hey friends, welcome to another how to draw video. This time we'll be drawing a cute troll doll. His name is Georgo. He's my friend. And here is what he looks like, just so you get an idea of what we're drawing. I'm starting by drawing his head, and I'm using a very hard pencil, which allows me to create very soft guidelines and slowly build up the drawing, something that I started really liking to do recently because I was really used to using very soft pencils that would leave strong lines. So now I'm working on some of the details of the face. The eyes are a main component here, and you want to get them fairly accurate to convey his look, his cute look. And now I'm indicating some of the hair and the ear. The hair, I'm just looking at the doll and sort of throwing in a few lines just to show where it'll be. I'm marking the highlights in the eyes so that I know what to leave white later on when I paint this. And now notice his feet. One of them is towards us and the other one is moving away from us. The left one is moving away from us. This will play a role later on when we color, which is what you see now. I'm starting to mix this very bright pink color, and I'll add that to, this is like the main color of most of the drawing. So I'm applying the color slowly from top to bottom. My table is tilted at an angle, so paint actually drips down, and I use a fairly wet color here. Because I wanted to fill in all of this area without too much trouble, and I needed a bright tone, so I used a fairly large amount of water here. His face is gonna be gray and his hair is going to be purple, but for now I'm just filling in all of his main body, and I forgot this spot on the ear. Now you want to be accurate, but it's not such a big deal if you accidentally went outside the lines. I'm not too big on staying inside the lines, and you see that I did go out of the lines in some places, which is totally okay. I'm adding a darker purple to the bottom of the hair because it's sort of curved, and I want the bottom part to be a little darker. We'll later on draw the strands and add some more details, but for now it's just the basic layer of paint. Now I mixed some gray tone, for which I used a gray tone that I had, but I also added some touches of pink, the same pink that I used for the body actually, because light is reflected from objects. And the gray face actually has some purple reflections from the other purple-pink reflection from the rest of the parts, and so you do want to indicate that. So it's just a very slight touch of pink inside that gray. Now the bottom part of his feet I will darken a little more, as you see now, and it really brings out their shape, which you will more clearly see in a later stage. I'm doing it while the paint is wet so that it adds, sort of blends inside. Now I'm adding a darker tone to the body itself. Now you'll see that it kind of merged with the gray. I made a mistake here of not waiting long enough for the gray to dry. It's not that big of a deal. Of course it would be better if it wouldn't have happened, but I can correct this fairly easily and it'll look fine in the end. Now I'm indicating actually the seam line in the center, and there are some shadowy areas between where the base of the feet, the legs are, and the base of the hands. I'm trying to, sorry about the noise here, I'm trying to sort of blend it in as much as possible, but I kind of messed up in some parts. Now I'm going over a second layer of purple, and this helps me further indicate the shape of the hair and some of the ears, of course. And now I'm adding the gray to the bottom of the feet, and you'll notice how it really brings out the right feet here and brings out the shape of the toes in it. You see I'm painting around the toes and around the fingers as well, and it really brings out the shape. And now I'm blending it by drying the brush, and then touching the edges. here you can see this blending in action again in a moment. I'm drying the pen and sort of going on with a second layer, adding some black to the eyes. This is the darkest tone in the drawing, so it needs to be really, really dark. I recently learned that the color matters less. What's more important is the actual value, the tone, the darkness. So I'm really paying attention to that at the moment. Of course, I'm leaving the highlights, which is very important. You want to leave them bright to create that cool effect. And now I'm adding some darker areas for the pink that I haven't done yet. Blending them in with the dry brush. I'm sorry that the sketchbook falls down every once in a while. I'm taking out my colored pencil, and this is really where I'm beginning to indicate the hair. I'm using quick strokes of this dark purple tone, and it also brings out the texture of the fabric. I use the same thing with a gray colored pencil for the face itself, and it'll help bring out those the hairy texture. Also in the feet and in the hands, and I kind of use this black colored pencil to also indicate the shape itself. I quickly went over with a blue layer on top of the hair, and now I'm inking. Now, because I colored it earlier, I can be very sort of throw in the ink sparsely, like use less ink to indicate the shape, because the color does the job, which is something I like to do. And I think I'm almost done here. That's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you, and if you enjoyed, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon.